We are cruising on a little road trip here. We're heading up from Fort Lauderdale to Tampa for my poetry residency. I'm in a M.F.A program right now, studying poetry and getting an M.F.A in creative writing, doing a Low-Residency program out of Tampa. And anyway, I just wanted to share some thoughts with you. I want to tell you a little bit more about who God is and who we are as His creative creations. So there's this kind of misnomer, this misunderstanding in our churches today, not all of them, but some of them, about the order of God. So in our culture, you see people getting excited at football games, people dancing at clubs and social events, people getting excited at rock concerts. But then when we come into the church, we have this understanding that we have to become solemn and suppress our joy and suppress our excitement because that's what God wants. And I just want to let you know that that is not biblical, that is actually not, oh great, sorry, I have a bean in my tooth from I had a burrito for lunch. I'm sorry, that's really gross. That's realism, guys, right there. Raw realism. So hold on 2 seconds, please. Ding. Good as new. Okay, so God's order. We have to remember that God's order is not man's order. So God's thoughts are higher than man. And what I see happening a lot is I see little man, I'm one of those, using their reason, using their logic to say, well, this must be what God wants. And a lot of times it's not actually what God wants. It's what we think God wants. It's us kind of making a God based on our idea of what He should be. And I'm very interested in who God actually is. I'm very open and welcoming to God's authentic character and His wildness, which is aligned with His holiness. So God's order. So let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. In many of our modern North American churches, expressions of joy, expressions of enthusiasm and excitement, expressions of movement and joy and enthusiasm and excitement are kind of squelched, are quenched, are suppressed, and are told. For instance, I've felt the joy of the Lord and I wanted to dance in church and I was told, please stay in your seat. And the argument that comes with that is people saying, well, we need to be decently and in order, which is a scripture verse, right? It does talk about the order that needs to happen in a church service. But again, we've got to remember that it's God's order, not man's order. When we want to look at God's order, we can look at His creation. It tells us that creation declares the glory of God. We can see how God fundamentally designed things. So if you look into the rainforest, you're not going to find every tree exactly the same in perfect triangles groomed to man's standards according to His design, right? You're going to find these wild trees and these vines and branches and tons of trees and tons of breath in the atmosphere of the rainforest because of all the vegetation. Strange little creatures that can only live in those kinds of trees and in that kind of habitat. It's a wild place. And I would argue that it's also a holy place because our God is holy. And our God is also wild. And by wild, I don't mean, well, let me tell you what I do mean. I mean diverse, I mean creative, I mean colorful, I mean spectacular, I mean off the chain. Our God is unpredictable, He is uncontrollable, He is unleashed, and He is unboxed, and He is mysterious, and He is wild. And so